Hi everyone, my name is Gideon George and I'm one of the Sunday school teachers from St. Ioannis Parramatta. I'm going to tell you a story today, and for this story to work, I need each of you to imagine that you're really tired and you've been sleeping in your bed after a long day. And when you're trying to sleep, you get woken up by your family, by shouts of excitement and happiness. What's going on, you say? You're just trying to sleep, but you don't want to hear what they're on about. We have a huge announcement, your family shouts. You've received an exciting invitation. And of course, now you can't sleep anymore. You want to know, what's this invitation? Who's inviting you somewhere? Where are you going? And so you race downstairs and you go to your table and you find the invitation. And you look at it and it's beautiful. It's got royal red marking from a king at the bottom. And it's got some gold at the top. And you think, wow, this must be something really special. And so of course you're really excited. So you rip it open, you smash it open, and you take out the sheet of paper. And inside, it says something even more exciting. It says, I am inviting you to... Actually, before I tell you what the invitation says, I need to tell you another story. A story about a young woman, just a little bit older than all of you, who lived 2,000 years ago in a small town called Nazareth. Now this young woman was called Mary, and she was the daughter of Joachim and Anna. In our church, we also call Mary Banagia. Now Banagia was a very simple and holy person. When she was only 3 years old, which is younger than all of you, her parents took her to the temple so she could live there with the priests. She spent all her time in reading the Bible, in studying, and in praying to God. And when she grew older, everyone would look at her and be amazed at how special she was. When she became old enough, she became engaged to another just and holy man, a person by the name of Joseph. And now this is where the main story begins. One night, Mary, or the Banagia, was sitting, probably studying the Bible or praying to God, when suddenly the Archangel Gabriel came into the room. And imagine what Mary must have thought. Before, she was probably sitting in darkness, because remember, there were no light bulbs back then. Electricity hadn't been discovered. All they had were candles. And suddenly, instead of the candles, there was a shining white angel. And not just any angel, but an archangel. One of the top angels. She would have been completely shocked. But what happened next was even more shocking. The Archangel Gabriel spoke to her and said to her, "Hail, highly favored one, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women." And the Archangel Gabriel told her that she would give birth to a son, and the son's name would be Jesus, and this Jesus would be God, who would be coming on earth to save the world. And Mary thought, this is incredible. The God who I pray to every day, the God who made the world, the God who I read about in the Bible, is coming down to earth as a child, and I'm going to be his mother? And then, in addition to that, she was even more confused because she wasn't even married to Joseph yet. And so she didn't know how this would be possible. And so she asked the archangel, and asked him, "How is all this possible?" And the archangel Gabriel said to her, "Things that are impossible with man are possible with God." And then Banahia said, "Behold the maidservant of the Lord, let it be to me according to your word." And she accepted God's invitation to be the mother of Jesus, and she was obedient to God's will. In our church, we call that event the Annunciation, because it is the day that the Archangel Gabriel announced the good news that Jesus was coming to the world. We celebrate it every year on the 25th of March, and in our church, it is a huge day. In Greece, it's even a public holiday. People don't go to work on the Annunciation because it's that important of a day. And why is it so important? The word Annunciation in Greek is evangelismos, which means the good news. The Annunciation is the day that we received the good news that Jesus is coming on earth. And if you listened to the chant that you heard at the start of this lesson in Greek, the English translation of that says, "Today marks the crowning of our salvation." The Annunciation is the beginning of when Jesus came to earth to save us all. First, the Annunciation. Then Jesus was born on Christmas. Then he died for us on Good Friday. And finally, he rose from the dead on Easter, which we'll celebrate in just a few weeks. So on the Annunciation, the angels and the archangels are celebrating in heaven, and we should celebrate with them. The Annunciation is also very important because we love Banahia so much. After God, Banahia is the most important and special person in the whole universe. She is more special than the angels, than the archangels, than the saints, and even the apostles and the disciples. And this is because Banahia is Jesus' mother. And just like all of you love your mothers so much and listen to your mothers, Jesus also listens to his mother and loves her very much as well. And so if we pray to Banahia and ask her to help us, she will talk to Jesus for us, and God will help us. And that's the end of the story of the Annunciation. If you remember, before I told you this story, I was about to read you from an invitation, but I couldn't read that invitation until the story was told. And now I can tell you what the invitation says. The invitation says, "I am inviting all of you to live forever with my son Jesus and his mother, the Banahia, in heaven." What an invitation! I want to accept this invitation. I'm sure you want to accept this invitation as well. But how do we do that? We accept the invitation by living the good news of the Annunciation, by praying to Banahia and asking her to pray to God for us. And so I want to end this lesson with a challenge for each of you. And the challenge is this: every morning and every night when you pray, I want you to try and say a prayer to Banahia and to kiss her icon. And if you do this every morning and every night, God and Banahia will shower you with love, with protection, and with help. I hope you have a great week, and may God, through the prayers of the Banahia, bless us, protect us, and help us. Amen.